peace and a love that surpasses all understanding. Not even sure I'm going to post this one. Really not sure. Last couple of weeks, there's been some. I guess if I'm understanding terminology correct, I would define them as tower moments. Moments of where ideals and constructs and beliefs or understandings or et cetera, are kind of crumbling. And tower moments are not a new thing to me. I am rapidly approaching 54 years old, and I have successfully navigated all of them without dying. But going back to like my where I hold my self belief or my self esteem or my self worth, um, from very early on in my life, um, very early on in my life, um, there was I had a belief that I was only good for sex and or sexual behaviors. I was only good for that and the thickness of my wallet. And in more recent days and over the past couple of years, um, I've had some. Long story short, I have neuropathy. It's a um, chronic problem based on a issue I had a few years ago and what neuropathy does, especially in men. Um, my fingers, the extremities of your body, frequently become desensitized. So, like the tips of my fingers, my nose, my ears, my feet, and my reproductive organs. So, I can't really feel anything. So, there's been that. And then in very recent days, there's been a pretty substantial blow. And I based a lot of my self worth on sex and sexuality. Um, that's how I was treated, so that's how I believed I was valuable. And I went on to engage in relationships basing my self worth on sex and money. You know, that's how valuable I am, or that's where my value comes from. And in recent days, so it's been a double whammy. Um, in recent days, where I work, my income has taken a pretty dramatic hit. And for somebody who bases or who has based a fair amount of their self worth on money and sex, um, this current situation I presently find myself in is very challenging, um, and it's serious. It has the potential to be very serious. The prospect of having to sell my home and perhaps taking a hit on that, but selling my home and reassessing where should I be living. Am I living within my means? And I live very modestly. I have a mobile home. Um, I live very modestly, but it has gotten to that point where I'm like, maybe I need to sell my home, uh, and you know, find an apartment, a cheap apartment. Or maybe I should just chuck it all and before it's too late, take whatever proceeds I make from the house and just do what I wanted to do and move down to Jamaica or Bermuda or Bahamas. Come on, pretty mama. Um, but I've experienced a more than fair amount of challenge in my perception about my self-worth in the last couple of weeks, hardcore, hardcore, hardcore. And you know, I've made it this far in my life, having, you know, uh, you know, there are those things in life that would be called catastrophic. Somebody dying, death, divorce, buying a home, selling a home, what the birth of a child. These are very these are life changing moments. And I've had jobs, I've lost jobs, I've made lots of money, I've made a little bit of money, and I've survived for 54 years, quite nicely actually, quite nicely. I've survived. They haven't gotten me yet, but really, really experiencing what it means to be to have those things serendipitously removed from my life, those things that I place such a great value on about my self-worth, to have those belief systems shaken to the core. And what are you left with, Scott? What are you left with? Um, Maybe your pockets are empty. Maybe your reproductive, sexual, the ability to express yourself on a sexual level is gone. You know, and what are you left with? You know, um, I'm left with myself. And that's and as I lean into this, I've had some very over the past couple of weeks, I've kind of I don't know, maybe retreat, I guess, I haven't surrendered, but I've kind of retreated and had allowed myself a fair amount of quiet time, alone time, meditative time, reflective time. And at the end of the day, I do, in my heart of hearts, I know everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. That this experience that I'm having right now, in regards to finances and sex, um, I know that there is a learning here. There's something that is helping me to grow beyond old concepts of what we're taught. Um, as a man, you're only as valuable as the job and the house and the virility, um, the relationships you have, how beautiful your wife is, how successful your children are, on and on and on. And to have these things removed, um, from me, to see things on a much clearer basis, a much, more authentic, to see myself more authentically. It's challenging. It's challenging. I, as one might imagine, being feeling clumsy and like, ooh, this. I'm not sure how this feels. But at the end of the day, I had an experience yesterday at work, at my job, and I'm very fortunate that I get to experience people. Um, I work in a healthcare facility, and it can be a amazingly rewarding environment to be in. It can be a very dense environment at times, but yesterday was definitely one of those. It was a good day. It was a good day. I could be present for someone, and they were scared, and and I didn't offer anything but my hand. And the moment that we connected, um, it was just amazing and beautiful and divine, truly divine. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I had goosebumps for about a solid minute and a half. It was just, um, it was one of the closest experiences, um, truly closest experiences that I would um, compare or liken to what I believe is my Kundalini awakening in November of 2018. And it really kind of anchored things in for me. You know, Scott, all these things that are being removed from you, these distractions, these ideas, these things that take away from who you really are. Um, these things are being removed for your benefit, and not just for your benefit, but to see yourself clear and to be um, to to move forward in a greater understanding and balance and harmony with your alignment, with your integrity, with your character, with your essence. And definitely felt the need to share. Actually, was on my way for an errand at work, but compelled to share. Amazing experience yesterday. And I'm going to keep trudging. I'm going to keep walking through this and sitting with that discomfort, and understand the distorted thinking on my part that we are collectively, um, we are more than these vessels. We are more than our wallets. We are more than, so much more, so much more. Um, and even with the depth of feeling I'm having around these experiences that I'm having, there is a comfort and an ease, um, uh, a discernment that I have now that I've never really experienced to this level, and it's a nice place to be. It's a nice place to be able to be on some level vulnerable with folks and you know share a bit of this. Like, so if you're experiencing something, if you're a dude in your 50s or in your 30s or whatever, and you've experienced a blow to your wallet or a substantial decline in your libido and you're wondering why, um, you know I honestly believe that these experiences I'm having are really opening me up, and it's difficult to see through that at times, but here we are. Here we are. And with that, I will offer you a peace and a love that surpasses understanding. Um, and wish you wish you a good day. Wish, forget that word. Peace and a joy that surpass all understanding. I'm out of here. A little distracted. Have a good day.